Happy Thursday. It is the start of a very cold and blustery one out there. We've got winds howling out of the northwest. Gonna give us a little taste of winter on this next to last day of the work week. But if you are a fan of that winter weather, soak it in today because we've got a major warm-up coming starting tomorrow, taking us all the way through the weekend. And yes, we do have more rain chances that are going to be coming along with that. Recapping yesterday, overlooking our Cheetah Clean Auto Wash Sky Cam right there on Veterans Memorial. It was a rather cloudy, dreary day throughout. Temperatures not really warming too much, hanging out in the 40s to low 50s throughout much of the day. And then after sunset, we had a blast of moisture that came through here. We had rounds of showers and storms impact us here in south central Kentucky. Here's a look at the past 24 hours worth of rainfall. Looks like the heaviest rain fell just south of Bowling Green, extending south and west through Guthrie and southern Todd County. And another batch impacting areas across, let's see here, Rochester up through the Logansport vicinity in Butler County and extending back south and west through Muhlenberg and into northern Christian County. Getting to today's weather, however, looking over the city of Morgantown Skycam this morning, a few drops of rain there, but cloudy nonetheless. It's very, very cold out there as well. Maybe a few isolated sprinkles, maybe a few isolated snow flurries flying out there, but it's not going to be of anything of too much concern. The good news is we're expecting to see clearing as we progress throughout the day. Looking over our white squirrel weather camera atop Western Kentucky University, courtesy of WKU Weather, you can see the overcast skies. Again, it has that dreary sort of ominous look with the city lights reflecting off that low cloud deck. But it's a very, very cold start for us. We are sitting in the upper 20s across many locations, in the upper 20s throughout the entirety of our region that we cover here at Whether or Not Bowling Green. And it feels even a little bit colder. We've got stout winds out of the northwest between 10 and 20. Some gusts higher than 20 miles an hour early this morning. And yes, we know what that means. Much colder wind chills. Here's a look at the wind chills out there. Upper teens for many of us. Low 20s there at the Northern Kentucky Mesonet Station located in Warren County. Here's a look at the current surface setup. We still have this sprawling area of high pressure right there on the Nebraska-Iowa border. Clockwise flow filtering in northerly winds, but this will be tracking south and east over the next 24 to 48 hours. And after that gets to our east, we're going to be looking at winds turning back out of the south. That's going to result in a major warm-up. Here's a little bit closer look at the setup this morning. Here we are in south central Kentucky. Area of high pressure, clockwise flow, helping to crank up those winds out of the northwest. That is what is transporting in that much, much colder air early this morning. Now let's take a look at how our system and atmosphere is going to behave. Area of high pressure will dive south and east over us, keeping very cold conditions around today and into the overnight as well. And then as we get into our Friday, though, with high pressure working off and to our east, we're going to be looking at those winds turning back out of the south as we get into the final day of the work week. Thanks to that area of high pressure working off to our east, we have an area of low pressure doing all it can to develop across the plains. Counterclockwise flow around low pressure, clockwise flow around high pressure is really, really going to be cranking up our winds as we work a little bit later into our Friday afternoon. And then we're going to have a warm front lift north over our vicinity as we get into the first day of the weekend. Stout winds remaining out of the south and west throughout our Saturday, priming our atmosphere full of moisture. Then here comes that area of low pressure right across the Great Lakes. Going to be bringing an associated cold front through here on Sunday. And yes, that's going to be keeping those rain chances in the forecast. Take a look at the temperature spread, though, and how things are going to be changing over the next couple of days. It's going to be a roller coaster, no surprise there. It's what we've been dealing with what is seemingly like a prolonged spring season instead of a winter season. Very cold early this morning. It's going to stay cold throughout today. This is the GFS model, only hinting at afternoon highs today between the low and mid 30s. Then we're going to dip back down into the 20s as we get into tonight. But as we get a little bit later into our Friday and into our Friday afternoon, we're going to have those winds kicking up out of the south. You can see much, much warmer air being and working in here from the south and west. Afternoon highs on Friday between the low and mid 50s. Then as we get into our Saturday afternoon, a big surge of warm air out of the Gulf of Mexico is going to be taking our afternoon highs up well into the 60s. Few outlying areas may even get in on that 70-degree threshold, however, by the time we get into our Sunday afternoon. So we can see here at noon on Sunday in the lower 60s, definitely by mid-afternoon, we're going to be looking at warmer temperatures by Sunday. And then by Monday, with that passing cold front, colder air is going to be filtering in here from our north and west. So again, another little cool down as we get into the early part of next week. Now, precipitation chances. Not really much going on today. We can see not really a whole lot going on. But then as we get into our Friday, you can note these little black thin lines. Those are isobars. Those are measuring pressure. Then we have isotherms here in the blues and the reds. Those are temperatures. And where you see those pressure lines intersecting with those isotherms, that is what we use to interpret warm air advection. Very warm air moving in here out of the south and west as we work into our Friday and into our Saturday. But as that warm front lifts to our north on Saturday, going to be looking at scattered rain chances making an appearance. It doesn't look like anything too strenuous out of this, but nonetheless, light to moderate rain showers possible throughout the day on Saturday. Look to stay scattered, but then as we get into our Sunday, you can see this area of low pressure tracking north and east across the Ohio Valley, bringing through an associated cold front on Sunday, and you can tell that is just going to keep more rain chances in our forecast. Here's a look at the next 5 days worth of rainfall. It looks right around 1/2 of an inch up to 3/4 of an inch right here across the heart of south central Kentucky. Anyone that's able to get in on a few of those thunderstorms that's expected to develop on Sunday and Sunday afternoon could see more than that. Here's a look at your full 7-day weather forecast brought to you by Cheetah Clean Auto Wash. We're looking at afternoon highs today in the mid-30s with gradual clearing skies. We should be looking at sunshine this afternoon. Then as we get into our Friday, a major warming trend, southwest winds cranking up between 15 and 25 miles an hour. Going to take us up to the upper 50s tomorrow afternoon. Then a warming trend Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures between the mid and upper 60s. Some could hit the 70s on Sunday. Scattered rain chances on Saturday becoming more widespread on that final day of the weekend. And then that passing cold front brings colder temperatures with rays of sunshine on Monday. We're only going to be able to hit the mid-50s. That's going to wrap up this Thursday morning Whether or Not Bowling Green video blog. I hope you all have a fantastic Thursday out there. Make for sure that you bundle up before you head out the door. It's going to be very, very cold.